Today we're going to go over the top 3 hero equipment combinations for each specific hero so that you can maximize your ores and get 3 stars. Starting off with the Royal Champion, at number 3 we have the Rocket Spear and Seeking Shield combination. This is just lethal. All about doing lots of damage from range. This is really good when you're trying not to lure the defensive CC, say on the back end of an air spam attack, particularly if you do the Minion Prince Charge attacks. At number 2 we have the Eboots and Hog Puppet, and this is just the ultimate defensive hero equipment. It is so hard to take the Royal Champion down when she's got this combination, and it's essentially the best combination in the game unless you're doing a Royal Champion charge. And at number 1, obviously we have the Electro Boots and the Haste Vial. The Royal Champion charge is just the strongest thing in the game currently, completely unstoppable, and you can put just about any troops on the back end of the base to get the 3 stars. Obviously the Haste Vial and the Electro Boots work together amazingly only when you've got lots of invis spells. If you're using this without the invis spells, then it is quite a compromising hero equipment because there's not a lot of defensive capability like you see with the Hog Puppet, but for what it does, the Electro Champion charge is dominating the meta, and that's why this is at number 1. Now on to the Grand Warden, and at number 3 we have the Eternal Tome and the Rage Gem. This is a really strong combination, particularly in a meta where you see lots of people, they're either doing Super Archer clones at the low town halls where you use a lot of spells, or at the high town halls you're seeing the Royal Champion charges, which yet again uses a lot of spells, and that's where the Rage Gem is really nice with the Eternal Tome, just giving you that extra damage without having to use the spell investment. At number 2 we have the Rage Gem with the Fireball, and this is essentially the default hero equipment for any Fireball army, and it is unbelievably strong, pairs together beautifully whether you're doing Super Witches, double hero charge, or the classic Fireball rocket balloon / mass furnace attack strategy. This hero equipment is epic. But at number 1 we have to have the Eternal Tome and the Healing Tome, because you can just use the Healing Tome in any army and it will make it better. Obviously can't really use it with the Fireball, but outside of that it works with every single army, and it just makes your troops completely unkillable. Doesn't matter if they're Root Raiders, you can even use it with Hogs if you want. Generally the Life Gem is better there, but you can use it with anything and get insane value because the Healing Tome just lasts forever. Now on to the Minion Prince, and we're only going to do 2 combinations for this because, well, there's only 4 hero equipment, so it doesn't really make sense to have that many combinations. And at number 2 we have the Noble Iron and the Metal Pants, and this is essentially the hero equipment you're going to use if you're doing a Minion Prince charge. With the Noble Iron, Minion Prince charges are definitely much more possible than they used to be, and with the Metal Pants it just means that your Minion Prince is far safer on these charges than before because it is a very nice defensive hero equipment. And at number 1 we're going to have the Dark Orb and the Henchman Puppet. These two work together really well. Obviously the Dark Orb is insane, slowing down all the defenses in such a wide range, but the Henchman Puppet's really nice as well. You get it's kind of like the Hog Puppet, you get all the defenses off your Minion Prince with the invisibility, and then you get a couple of tanks just in case there's traps or more defenses in the area. But what's really nice about the Henchman Puppet is the insane added DPS, and with the Dark Orb it is just awesome. Now on to the Archer Queen, and at number 3 we have the Magic Mirror and the Frozen Arrow. This is the best hero equipment combination for if you're doing a Queen charge. Now it is a bit risky, the Invis Vial is safer, but if you've got an Invis spell you can use to keep your clones alive, you're going to get much more damage out of the Magic Mirror than the Invis Vial. And it's also really good anytime you send your Archer Queen inside the base with a Smash army, because the Healer Puppet isn't really as good because there's more likely to be air traps in the center of the base that you can't pull, and you also don't get the extra damage like the Frozen Arrow does. So if your Archer Queen is going inside the base with a spam attack, or you're doing a Queen charge, this is best. If not, I'd defer to the 2 higher hero equipment combinations we have coming up next. At number 2, it is the Healer Puppet and the Magic Mirror. This is a really nice combination when you use the Queen on the outside of the base to get a lot of value, particularly with, say, Super Witches, where you need a really good funnel set. There is nothing better to set a funnel than these two. Unfortunately, one of the downsides of this is with the Healer Puppet, you want to pop it as early as possible to get the healers, but with the Magic Mirror, you don't want to use the ability until you need the extra damage, because they only last 30 seconds, the clones. So there is it is not perfect synergy here, and that's why it's not number 1. At number 1, we have the Healer Puppet again, but now with the Giant Arrow, and this is basically as strong as the last one. In fact, it may even technically be a little bit weaker in terms of the Giant Arrow versus the Magic Mirror, but the synergy is amazing because you want to pop that Giant Arrow immediately, and you want to pop the Healer Puppet immediately as well, so they work together amazingly. The Giant Arrow at low town halls is excellent at getting rid of air defenses and sweepers, and at high town halls it's excellent at getting rid of not only those two, but activating invis towers as well, and making the rest of your attack far easier. Now we're moving on to the Barbarian King, and I'm actually only going to offer up 2 combinations for him because there's clearly 2 strongest ones, and the rest really aren't as strong. At number 2, it is the Giant Gauntlet and the Spiky Ball. This is really good with, say, Root Rider spam attacks, because the Root Riders are opening the walls anyway. We don't need the Earthquake Boots for that. Giant Gauntlet's really nice to tank for the Root Riders as well. But at number 1, and it is kind of clearly number 1, it's the Spiky Ball and the Earthquake Boots. These have perfect synergy. The Earthquake Boots opens up the wall, but then weakens all the buildings nearby, such that the Spiky Ball finishes it off, because by themselves, neither of them are going to finish every defense, but together they can do it. And that is what synergy is all about. And when it comes to the Barbarian King, that's just clearly what you should be using basically every attack, no matter what your goal is with your Barbarian King. That's it for all of the hero equipment combinations. Let me know down below if you disagree, or if you think I missed out on a combination. I'd love to hear all your opinions, but until the next video, have a nice time and we'll see you soon.